This magnetic keyboard is a full aluminum case and you can get it for as low as just $25, which is, I don't know how they got it so cheap, but is it actually good? Let's go ahead and check it out. Now that seems to be everything inside the box. Very nice, secured packaging. All of the accessories that you will be needing will come with the box. Now first impressions on the keyboard. As soon as I picked it up, I could already feel the full aluminum case of this keyboard. Like, it does have some weight. I mean, it is aluminum. Very high quality. Like, I still don't know how they got this keyboard so cheap with a full aluminum case. But yeah, I got the black and red color. I think it does look pretty clean. But yeah, this color is only available for the Plus model, but if you go to the Max model, which is like a more expensive upgraded version, you can now choose between white, pink, black white, or gray white. But yeah, the main difference between the Max and the Plus is pretty much the looks, the switches, and the fillings. I don't really see any difference between the performances. Now for the keycaps, these are pretty okay quality. It is double shot from what it seems, but yeah, they're not bad. They're pretty okay quality. Then for the switches, yes, this keyboard is hot swappable with other Gatron or TTC-like magnetic switches, I'm pretty sure. From what I can see, you do have 3 switch options. I'm pretty sure this is the magnetic grain switches. Here are some specs, but yeah, you can also get it in the Codex switch or the Aquarius magnetic switches. But yeah, going back to the magnetic grain switches, closed bottom, they do have minimal wiggle wobble as well. They do feel pretty nice. They do sound pretty okay, decent. Here's a little sound test. But okay, here's a little sound test with the switches and the keycaps on. Okay, the keyboard, it's not really that bad sounding, but I can't help but point out the space bar. Like, what is that sound? But yeah, there is some foam. I do appreciate the effort. And I can also see some lube actually. I don't know if you can see it, but there is actually quite a lot of lube there. I don't know what happened to the sound though, despite all those. Like, well, changing the switches help a little bit at least. Okay, surprisingly, that actually sounds better. I replaced the switch with a Jade Pro, which definitely helped. But for the price, can you really blame it? I mean, you're getting the full aluminum case here, and they're pretty okay switches. Doesn't sound the best, but yeah, let's try some Wuchuwei Studio Flux switches here actually. Oh, that sounds so much better. Listen to this. But even though the stabilizers aren't that good, the main switches are pretty decent, and again, I can't really complain with the overall sound of the keyboard for the price. It is pretty decent, and yeah, the full aluminum case definitely helps making the keyboard sound more premium. And I can see the effort in making the keyboard sound good. But okay, enough with the sound and the amazing aluminum case. How about the performance though? Maybe it's bad, that's why it's cheap? Well, actually no. It apparently has 32,000 Hz scan rate and 8,000 Hz polling rate. And of course, it is a magnetic keyboard. You can also adjust the actuation points. It apparently has 0.01mm accuracy. Of course, it has rapid trigger, all those features that we're gonna be checking out later more in the software. Like, you already gave us an aluminum case and now you're giving us amazing performance? Like, I'm very impressed. But yeah, take note though that there are 3 different models. The Plus and the Max, like I said earlier, there isn't really much difference between the performances, but the non-Plus, non-Max version is actually stuck on 1K Hz polling rate. But yeah, here are the differences, more detailed differences. But without further ado, let's go ahead and plug this keyboard in and see its RGB. It is pretty decent. The plate is reflective, which I like, making the RGB seem more brighter. Yeah, it is pretty decent. Let's go ahead and check out more of the other effects. so that we can do in the software. But okay, I have the website where you can buy this keyboard from. It will be first link in the description. If you scroll down, you can go ahead and find the product downloads over here. Just download the driver over here, extract it, run the installer. Then after that, you'll be greeted with this software. I kinda messed with it already, but as you can see, we can change the functions over here, add combination keys, set some macros and all these different stuffs. Also calibrate, customize different layers, reset all these stuffs. Stroke settings, I'm not gonna go to too much details on my reasons why I set these settings. I already made a different video about that. But yeah, you can go down to as low as 0.01 millimeters for the rapid trigger and then 0.1 millimeters for the press. We also have anti-miss operation mode, which I do recommend turning on if you're experiencing some double clicking or accidental activation to activation. Also some rapid trigger stabilization, I have mine on 50. You can also change your switches or shaft settings, but it's not really important as long as you know the maximum bottom out of your switch, the distance. But yeah, we also have advanced settings. As you can see, we have snap key, SOCD, toggle key, mod tap, and DKS. I do have snap key on my A and D already. Very nice. And we also have other settings, which I'm not 100% sure what this does. But yeah, other than that, we also have FN settings. We can customize the FN layers. Then we also have macros again, light. Currently have mine on always on, but yeah, we do have quite a good amount of effects here. Yeah, I do like that. It is pretty chill. Very customizable with the brightness, with the colors. But okay, moving on to share. You can also download others as effects if you'd like. Just go to the right keyboard and then you can also share your settings other than the RGB light effects, share your macros if you'd like. You can log in, register, do all these different stuffs. We're in the latest firmware. And yeah, I'm pretty okay with the software. I've seen a lot of other keyboards with similar softwares like these. It's pretty decent. All of the features that you will be needing will pretty much be over here. I wish they also make a web-based software though, along with this downloadable one. But yeah, I actually also see a lot of people liking the downloadable software because if the web-based software shuts down, you still have this downloadable one. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it for the software. Now let's go ahead and test this out more on Keyboard Inspector. Now I'm not 100% sure how accurate Keyboard Inspector is, but for those that are interested, here are the results. Oh, and yeah, I also didn't see any way to change the polling rate on the software, but I assume it's gonna be on the highest possible. Yeah, as you can see, 8,000 Hz polling rate. Here are the results for those that are interested. Very nice. But okay, now let's go ahead and test this out more in game.
Oh, f***ing lane, bro.
I'm back. Miss me?
Nice.
I am on the main, bro.
I think one mid. I don't know.
One enemy remaining.
Tap. Yeah, pati.
Oh, maybe.
My ult's ready. I'll handle this. Here.
Oh, over here.
I'm back.
Wait! Break the door! Cover up!
One enemy remaining.
Kind of a bad smoke. Yeah.
I go. Wait, fix. Holding it, I'm holding it.
Flashing.
Look sharp. Walk it off, G. Going up.
Nest.
You can 20.
Only.
Watch your eyes. Sit down.
One on top.
Yeah.
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 I mean, A shot.
My ult's ready.
So unfair, man.
Decoy.
Flashing.
It's you and me.
Goodbye.
One hole. Oh, I didn't die.
Time to jump.
So after playing and testing with the AJAZZ ALUX 68HE, here's my experience so far. Now as you saw from the gameplay, it didn't hold me back when I was gaming. It was very instant. As soon as I press the keys with the lowest actuation points, it does actuate. And then the rapid trigger as well, as soon as I lift up the keys, it does deactivate. It worked like a perfect magnetic keyboard. The SOCD worked perfectly as well, pretty much all of the features. I have no problems with this keyboard when it comes to gaming, at least. Now for my daily use, I also really like it. I did experience a little bit of a double clicking though on the spacebar, but it was very rarely. But that is kind of understandable because my spacebar is kind of in the very sensitive settings. If you want that to disappear, you can have a different profile just for typing, because you know that's probably when you're gonna be annoyed for the double clicking with the double clicking spacebar. But yeah, reducing the sensitivity of the spacebar a little bit should fix that. Nothing really major, very easy to fix. I have no major issues with this keyboard. So yeah, amazing experience, not just for gaming but also for my daily use. Now I want to talk a little bit about the sound of the keyboard again. As I mentioned earlier, it does sound pretty decent, especially the main keys, but yeah, the spacebar definitely could get a little bit of work. As you heard earlier, switching the switches definitely helped in improving the sound of the keyboard. So yeah, if you really want this keyboard to sound even better, I do recommend changing the switches. With better switches, it will definitely help bring out even more the premium sound of the aluminum case. But yeah, just take a listen to these Which Way Studios flock switches I installed. Here are the stock switches again. Pretty decent. Flock switches. But you're getting something like the flock switches or Gateron Magnetic Jade Pros, they just, I think, for me personally, sounds much better. But again, can totally be personal preference. If you like the stock switches, good for you. But okay, would I recommend it? Do I think it's worth it? Now from the title, I did mention $25. Now that is not clickbait, that is true price, but not for this specific variation. And that price might not be available for everyone, but I can definitely see that price being available for a lot of my viewers, or maybe even cheaper. Who knows, you can probably find one. But yeah, in Lazada, you can find this magnetic keyboard with the full aluminum case, but no RGB variation. You can get it for just around $25. And that is with the magnetic rise axis or switches. Now, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but the magnetic grain switches and the magnetic rise axis or magnetic rise switches, I'm pretty sure they're the same, right? Yeah, just different names. I'm pretty sure they're the same because they have very similar switch specifications. So yeah, the only thing you're gonna be missing is the RGB, and I'm pretty sure you might be stuck to 1K hertz polling rates. Because yeah, you guys remember the chart I showed earlier, right? I'm pretty sure that is the cheapest variation without the plus, that is the non-max and the non-plus version. And bro, that variation, $25 for a full aluminum case keyboard. Yeah, there is no RGB. Yes, you're stuck to 1K hertz polling rate and maybe not as low as 0.01 millimeters accuracy, but that is a crazy price. Full aluminum case, I'm sure it will still feel very responsive, especially compared to a normal mechanical keyboard. Now, I think that is definitely 100% worth it. Now, it might be hard to find as well since it is like one of the first variations to get sold out, and those variations aren't really that available everywhere. Like for example, on the Mechland store, I trust these guys, they do not really sell that variation again for now, and the AJAZZ store as well, I don't see them selling the non-plus and non-max version. But yeah, in Lazada you can find those variations, and probably in AliExpress as well, maybe Shopee. But let's say you cannot find any stock of that or any stores near you that will sell that, so the only ones available will be very far and will cost a lot of shipping. I think the variations like the Plus or the Max is still gonna be worth it. You know, might as well get yourself some RGB, the 8000 Hz polling rate, more accurate 0.01 millimeters. And if you're not really a fan of the black and red colors, might as well get yourself some better looking colors with your keyboard, aluminum case. But yeah, this specific variation I got over here, the Plus, will cost around $59. Aluminum case, 8000 Hz polling rate, 0.01 millimeters, very accurate, very responsive, amazing performance, magnetic keyboard over here. I think that price is still amazing. And yeah, those variations are definitely gonna be more available compared to the $25 one. So yeah, it'll be easier to find those for cheaper and probably not worrying too much about shipping. Now, if you want to get the Max variation, they're gonna have better switches and more color variations. You can get one in the AJAZZ store for around $74, but some variation colors will jump to $85. That is the price on the Mechland store. So yeah, for that jump in price, I'm guessing the keycaps are definitely gonna be better quality, the switches as well. And yeah, the more colorways, meaning the more versatile it will be. I think it will also have a little bit better inside, so yeah, you can expect better sounds, performance, better stability on the switches. I mean, I haven't tried the Aquarius magnetic switches, so I can't really say much about them. But yeah, if you want the best of the best, of course, paying more will get you that. And I mean, around $85, full aluminum case? That is actually still a pretty good deal. Yes, it's not as cheap as the $25, $59 variations, but that is still below $100, and you're getting a full aluminum keyboard with a decent performance, even better switches, and even better sounds for that $85 price point range. Yeah, I think all of the different models, all of the different variations, I think they're all pretty much worth it. But yeah, if you're in a really tight budget, then I hope you can find the $25 or maybe even cheaper price, I don't know, in your country. The black, no RGB, non-plus, non-max version. But if you do have the budget and you want the best out-of-the-box stock experience with this aluminum case, I think the $85 is still gonna be pretty budget-friendly. But yeah, if you're interested, I'll be putting this keyboard first link in the description. I do recommend getting it from Mechlands, but you can also get it from AJAZZ store or the AliExpress stores or the Lazada store where I found the $25 variation. I'll go ahead and put it in the description. I'm not sure if it will only be for the Philippines though, the Lazada store I'm talking about, but yeah, you might as well just search it if you're from a different country. And yeah, a little disclaimer, this keyboard right here is sent to me by Mechlands, but that won't change my review. Everything that you've been hearing me say about this keyboard are all my honest opinions and review. But yeah, I pray and hope that this video helped you in some way. I hope I was able to give you more options. Maybe you're looking for a budget option, but you want that aluminum case. Man, here you go. Bro, these budget magnetic keyboards are getting pretty crazy. But yeah, I'll go and see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to stay grateful and remember, Jesus loves you. Bye-bye.